Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Master Quest. I am your host, Midnight Sun, and today we are going to be heading back into the future so that we can deal with the Shadow Temple. Now, of course, this is the temple that is supposed to be creeping us out the most, but Bottom of the Well manages to beat it. It still kind of creeped me out, you know, as a kid, so we'll go over that. I'm just coming off of playing Skyward Sword, and I'm taking time out of my busy Skyrim schedule to finally update, so I hope you'll appreciate that. Anyways, let's change up our getup and our item layout a little bit. No, I do not want to do that. We still want to kill enemies rather fast, just so that we can get to the puzzles and such, because the puzzles are what's that? The puzzles are what is important. Yes, okay. Those are the words. So let's play our fancy Nocturne Shadow and head to the graveyard. Now, of course, the graveyard seemed like a pretty limited place, but if you look kind of closely, or not even really closely, if you just kind of cast your eyes upward, you'll find that there's this area that is right above the royal family tomb. So behind the royal family tomb is the Shadow Temple. I have no clue who in the hell comes back here to pray to what, but here it is. Now, you might wonder, how the heck am I supposed to light all these torches? Well, if you look at the sort of muddied late 90s texture on top of this platform, you'll notice that there is a symbol oddly familiar from the, oddly consistent with the fire medallion symbol. In fact, it is the exact symbol, it's just a little bit worn down. So, fire. Why not? It works. Now, I think I just kind of, as a kid, I just kind of randomly tried everything until, you know, I finally just said, you know what, Din's fire, blah. And there we go. It works. We get in. And now we're in the Shadow Temple. It's a kind of creepy place. And also the walls are going to talk to us a lot, so get ready. Arm myself with some fire arrows, just so you get a little preview of what we're going to have to do. Yeah, basically, if you decide to come in here, before you got that item, like, I actually thought that there was just going to be a solid wall, and I was like, oh, crap. So I actually, you know, had to figure out that I had to go get the Eye of Truth. You'll notice I kind of went through the text kind of fast, but the entire puzzle here is that only one of these skulls is actually there. If you equip your Eye of Truth, even now with the flames, not all of them, only one of them will actually be showing up, and you just kind of, you know, point the statue's, the beak of the bird in that statue. Yeah, see, you caught a glimpse of it. Also, you're catching a glimpse of the fact that there is a breakable wall behind this sort of weird-looking face thing here. Seriously, who came in here to pray? But yeah, there, that's what you had to do. What was I saying? I was saying stuff. Oh, yeah. Also, if you do not point it at the right skull, like if you stop and move, then that little circle-y thing there disappears and you fall into a pit. Now, that's the way we usually would have gone. However, as you saw, there was a door there we can't get through. So, if we look around, there are usually going to be some kind of, if all else fails, look around for torches. That's a pretty good hint in Master Quest. You know, look for things that might hold torches, or things that might usually be like a texture with torches, and you'll find your way. So, we head down here a little bit earlier. Usually, we would have had to use the special not quest, but dungeon item to get across there, but we'll be getting it in due time, I thought I'd use Farore's Wind just in case I had to pop back here, but I'm actually not going to need that. I'm eventually going to get back to the entrance, but it's not going to be like that, unfortunately. Anyway, so we kill off the Beamos. By the way, I loved coming back to this game and seeing those Beamos, because in Skyward Sword, the Beamos were really a bitch. Everything was doing so much damage, and the Beamos, like, they shot so far. They just kept on following you, and I was like, normal Beamos would have given up by now, man. What are you doing? But unfortunately, the Skyward Sword Beamos didn't give a shit. I'm actually going to be doing a little review of Skyward Sword, so keep an eye on my YouTube channel. Suffice to say, I was pretty torn after I really took a good look at the game, and see, if I learn to jump properly, I won't take as much damage. All right, just line it up. Line it there. There we go. Okay. Now, the puzzle in this little area here is twofold. Not only do we have to deal with all of the silver rupees, like in the... Actually, have we seen... Yeah, we did. I think the only place we've actually seen silver rupees so far in this version of the game is in the Bongo's cavern. But yeah, we collect all the silver rupees, and we're going to have to end up having to kill off all the Skulltulas. So we're going to grab what is going to turn out to be our dungeon map. Ooh, there's a leg sticking through like Harvey's butt. Anyway, so we pick up our dungeon map there. Textures and clipping are always fun. Seriously, they are always fun. If you aren't already, you should go watch the Beyond Goon and Evil, or read it, I should say. It's a screenshot LP. It's hilarious. Anyway, so there's a Skulltula here. He's guarding an area that we do not need to go into. So, yeah, there we go. He's dead, and finally the door opens. So we got our map, and we get our door. Yeah, there we go. Also, if we ever happen to pop back in here, don't forget that if monsters are tied to a puzzle, they don't reappear. Huzzah. Anyway, now we're going to have to deal with this Beamos again, because unfortunately he is not connected to any puzzle. And there we go. Not much of a problem. When I actually originally came through here with my test run, I had an enormous amount of problem just placing the bombs. I was trying to run away from the Beamos and place a bomb on that wall at the same time. And, yeah, there's another door with a key there. So, let's go through here and see what we find. Okay. Alright, Gidbos. Gidbos. Now, one thing that I did realize is different, because, you know, I was always thinking Majora's Mask, Gidbos equal Re-Dead. They just have, you know, the sheets on. One thing that is majorly different, that if you kill one Gidbo at a time, you'll notice, and by the way, key, Gidbos do not walk towards the corpses of their fellows. They just chill. And we're going to go back. Yeah, they just kind of chill out and wait for you to come to them, because they're like, I don't give a shit about that guy. I'm worried about you. You're the one with the sword. Jeez. Why do I want to go and just crouch over him and stare? Oh yeah, and by the way, you can keep on doing this if you want to. If you really want to test out if you really want to test the waters and make the ground disappear, go ahead. Go ahead. Be my guest. But yeah, I decided that the best way to go forward is sometimes to go back. So let's go through here. Now, I really hated this part as a little kid. I really hated this part. The walls with the eyes. This is the part that was always creepiest to me, and even still, just a little bit. I'll sometimes like just catch a glimpse of those green eyes, and I'll think that they're flickering or that they're changing. And oh yeah, speaking of creepy, I do not like it when Re-Dead are just crouching together like that. They did it in the bottom of the well. They're doing it here, and fortunately, a couple of them decide to line it up like a certain StarCraft celebrity I know likes to say. Not Husky, by the way. Not Husky. I'm sorry. Husky's a little bit... Well, he's a cool guy, but whatever. Anyway, so back on track to Zelda and not RTSs, RPGs. We got our compass, which is enormously helpful because there are going to be times in this dungeon where... And also in other places where there are... Yes, the bloody history of greed and hatred. And somebody prayed to that. We also noticed when we turned on the Eye of Truth very quickly that there is a Song of Time block back there. But, yeah, having the compass is very useful in a place like this, and also in the next temple it's going to be very useful. Or at least it usually would be. I haven't played through it in a little while, so once I go through it to test my, test the waters, as I've been saying, we'll see how it actually is. Yes, the Eye of Truth. It keeps on reminding you, hey, if you haven't gotten the Eye of Truth, you might want to look for that thing, and oh, I hate these things. I hate this thing. Really, I do. But yeah, sometimes there are going to be chests that are invisible, and a lot of those chests are the ones that actually, you know, hold keys, because they're testing you. They're saying, hey, did you remember to bring the Eye of Truth? You know, because there's this chest right here, and it has 5 rupees, and that's nice. But, you know... You could really use the Eye of Truth right now. Yeah, but speaking of eyes, these ones here, as you saw, every once in a while they'll open up and they will shoot a fireball at you. Now, only 2 of these actually shoot fireballs, and I didn't know that. Like, I thought that... Oh, good job. I thought that all 3 of them did it. So as soon as I walked in front of this one and it still wasn't shooting me, I knew something was up. So I shot it. Eye opens. There must be something that caused. I just don't know what it is. Maybe there was a block, one of those weird white ethereal things that kind of just appears after a little while. But oh, there we go, there we go. Basically, the only way to kill those eyes is when they finally open. You need to shoot them, because if you, when they open to shoot at you, you need to shoot them, because when they're closed, you can't hurt them. And by the way, now we get to do the trick. So, check this out. Eye of Truth, odd black thing on the ground, black blemish, whatever you want to call it. Just put down a bomb and walk away. See what happens. Not a big deal. Oh, there is a big deal, though. It's a dead hand. Isn't that awesome? It's totally sweet. Totally sweet. Anyway, so now we get to kill our second dead hand, and we are going to see a third, by the way, which makes me very happy because I love this enemy. Usually there's the whole risk and reward thing, but now that we have this, you'll notice it becomes a lot easier. Now, usually when he digs back into the ground, he'll have a different place that he appears. Like, we noticed that in the other fight, that where he dug back down was not always where he popped back up. Where he decided to pop back up this time, though, was very close, so that's why I was walking around the room. I didn't notice, because when he goes back into the ground for a quick second afterwards, see, like, you'll see it right here. There's that little black spot, but then it changes position, so there you go. There you go, okay. Bombs. And there we go. Sweet. And I just wanted to really quickly kill him off, so here we go. Just wanted to make sure he was dead this time. Door opens, and we get our final big chest, and obviously there is only one more, so it has to be the dungeon item. And it's the same as it ever was, so... Spoiler alert. Not really a spoiler. Okay. There we go, okay. Hover boots. The hover boots are, like they're saying, you can hover above the ground. They do not have any traction, so friction means nothing to these things. You can just kind of run, and you get a bit of a slow start, and then you don't quite stop when you want to. So that can be good sometimes. It can be fun for, like, sliding around, and that's pretty sweet and stuff. But other times it can get a bit annoying, so I'm going to be switching back and forth between these things a good number of times. One of the other features that they have is that there are some traps, or there are some things on the ground that usually would hurt you, or that you just wouldn't be able to walk over. But if you have the hover boots, they make you light enough that it's like you're not touching it. So there's really only one place that I haven't tested it out yet, and that's like on the lava that kind of hurts you every once in a while. See, that's what it does. You don't jump, you just kind of walk for like 2 seconds or so. Really what it does, not really mechanically, but as a vehicle to other places, there are some times when you would jump and you would miss a ledge. These things here let you jump about, I'd say you move about 2, 3, 1, I don't know, 1.5 times as far as you usually would, so that's cool. Also, you might remember that at one point I said we weren't going to have to go into that one little nook. Surprise, we actually do. The story that I would really like to tell you is that I was waiting to get the boots. The story that's the truth is that I forgot. So, anyway, you'll notice that there is a chest in the corner here. However, there was no floor. But if we go down a little bit, and as you'll see, this is one part where this is the case. Look, oh, it's appearing, it's out of sight again. Fortunately, if you bump into it, you will notice it's there if you're being careful. And also, you don't need to be seeing it in order to open up a chest. So that's what makes it possible for people to do run-throughs where they actually do not have the Eye of Truth. Oh, by the way, speaking of that, I'm not going to be putting up the Shadow Temple like the normal one at the same time, because I accidentally saved after I picked up the Eye of Truth. And because I'm doing a minimalist run and the Eye of Truth is not necessarily needed, well, that was bad. However, I've never gone through this temple without the Eye of Truth, so it's given me a little bit of trouble. Plus, with only 3 hearts, there are some enemies that kind of pop out of nowhere, and well, actually a sort of, oh god, in actually a sort of Master Quest-esque style. You know how sometimes you just have a Stalfos appear out of nowhere? That happens in the Shadow Temple usually. Honestly, in my mind, it's always been the hardest temple. Oh god, seriously? So having all these weird things happen to it just made it more fun, really. More challenging, I guess. It's the one that didn't... I guess maybe what I'm trying to say... actually, what I'm really trying to say is that it's the one that did not need as much of a Master Quest boost. And I knew that thing was there. I run into it every single time. Every single time I'm like, there's a skeletal at the bottom. But I always keep those damn boots equipped, and so I slide into them. Because if you're carrying something, or you have your weapon out, or... Oh, good, yes, I got away. The game doesn't care that you do something that would usually stop you. It keeps you going anyway. So boots. Sometimes they're good things, sometimes they're a bad thing. But yeah, the Shadow Temple without the Eye of Truth is giving me a little bit of trouble, especially since sometimes you'll have invisible enemies, or you'll have hookshot targets that are invisible. And even though they're always in the same place, and really after a little while you kind of know where they are, it takes a little while, and I kind of want to make those videos as fast as possible. The Water Temple one that I'm putting up with this was, an exception, but yeah, basically trying to make it as smooth as possible. Speaking of things you normally wouldn't see and that you might be confused about if you did not have the Eye of Truth, as you saw, blah. There you go. There were blocks on the ground. And if you tried to shoot, if for some reason this was the first time you were playing Ocarina of Time in any form, you would have noticed that whole thing. That there were no things, though. You probably would have shot at the eye. And yeah, you would have shot at the eye and been all like, what? It's crazy. Because something would have been blocking. And then you would have been like, oh, that's right. Things are invisible here. I'm not sure if the keys are invisible, but I hate keys. I hate when they fly away, because in the original version of this, the keys were part of the puzzle in this room. So I hate keys flying away, because sometimes you have to kill them. But this temple, the rooms are massive. So that just makes any time when something flies away or walks away and you can't see them, it makes it that much more annoying. Oh, and even though you'll notice, like, right about now, all the sounds for collecting silver rupees have gone away, that doesn't mean that we don't need to collect some of these, like some of them are duds. We actually do need to collect all of them, it's just that the game only had X number of sounds for collecting silver rupees, and god, I suck at ducking. Ugh. Really suck at dunking. This is why I can't play Limbo. What was I talking? Oh yeah, they ran out of sounds for the silver rupees. I guess they could only go so high. Blah. Or is it this place where they? I'm getting the two confused. Oh my god, it really is a horror story. All right, duck for a little while, and we're in this room, where there are two chests. One of them contains what we're looking for, a small key. The other one, well, you'll see what that contains. Okay, normal boots, because we're done with slipping around for now. 5 rupees. Now, one thing to note, I know that I've said in the past that 5 rupees usually means that or it does mean, I should say, I think I may have stated it pretty absolutely, that a 5 rupee piece inside of a chest means that there was something else inside that chest you could have gotten, like a Hylian shield, or usually a shield, actually. However, in this case, that was not true. If there is a chest inside of a room that is next to a okay, my phone just went off. If there is a chest inside of a room that is next to an invisible one, or something, or some other chest that you should be finding, but is much harder to find, or would be or should be much harder to find, or isn't as obvious, whereas that one is just like in your face. Hello, I'm the small chest. You probably think there's a key in me. Chances are that they'll put 5 rupees in there just to make you, realize, hey, guess what? Hey, guess what? You're wrong. You're wrong. It's Nintendo telling you that you were wrong and you need to keep on looking. And you probably should have collected the compass if you didn't, because we put it in the game for a reason. By the way, one of the things I liked about Skyward Sword, I liked the fact that they combined the map and the compass, so you didn't have to get both of them. I mean, the dungeons were a little bit smaller, so it made sense that they would do something like that. But I just... And by the way, I don't think that the dungeons being smaller was bad at all. If anything, I think it was a good thing. Yeah, I just thought it was pretty sweet. Did they do that in Minish Cap too? I can't remember. But it was pretty sweet. It was pretty sweet. Anyway, blah. Okay. Now, if you don't need arrows, you don't need to collect those silver rupees. It's not like the arrows are sitting in for any other important thing. It's just that you know, I felt like I was getting a little bit low on arrows. Right? I just wanted more arrows. You know, pretty OCD about that whole thing. So blah. There we go. All right. Okay, truth. Find the stone umbrella. Blades. Oh my god, yes. Just like in the old temple, there is a block here. And just like in all the other videos... Oh my god, that was a bad idea. Do not pull that thing, if that's the direction that you're going in. Yeah, just like in the original game, there is a block there, and we need to pull it until we get over here. Basically, these blades can be either a death trap, because if you stand underneath them, they don't just deal out damage, they kill you outright. By the way, there's going to be a 5 rupee piece here, and let's all say it together. That usually means there was something else in the chest. There we go. We're learning. What was I talking about? I was talking about something. Yes, the blades will just kill you outright if you are underneath them. It counts as a crushing object, not just a sharp object. When you're crushed, you're dead. You can't be a hero when you're a bunch of, you know, smushed up organs and shield pieces on the ground. And I was thinking about getting that last chest, but then I realized that I would have to, like, run around stuff, and I was like, oh, I don't care. Especially after that trap hit me. I was like, oh, I really don't care. So I left the room. I left the room because that's what heroes do. They, oh my lord, now people's calling me. Is it somebody important? Please tell me it's... Oh, I'm sorry, Dave, I can't answer the phone right now. I'm very important. I'm a very important internet person. Well, I'm not. I just like to pretend I am. Anyway, but now we're back out here, and we are looking at stuff, and I'm going to stop talking about getting chests and being heroes, because that's kind of lame. Anyway, so we need to get over to that locked door over there, because we've hoarded up 2 keys, and it's about time we use them. Alright, hover boots. Hover boots. Because we would not have been able to jump over there usually. There we go. Sometimes you'll still just barely make it, but if it's obvious you're supposed to get over there and there's no other way to do it, then just wear the hover boots and... Hang on, I gotta turn off the sound of my phone. By the way, yep, there we go. You know how I told you things that would usually be dangerous and deal out some damage to you over time? The hover boots let you stand on? Spikes coming out of the ground, like these specific ones anyway, happen to be one of those things. And even though it wasn't... walking creepily towards his dead friend, not caring about us. Even though it wasn't as obvious in the previous game, like, I don't think you actually needed to walk over the spikes in the original Ocarina of Time. In this one, the Shadow Temple makes sure you know all the fun little gimmicks about your items and about the enemies. I like that, because, you know, there are things that maybe weren't necessary. There are things that maybe even possibly were flukes in design. However, Nintendo realized, hey, that was pretty sweet what we did. And I'm realizing right now that I need to get onto the top there. That target, by the way, is invisible, usually, just like the one that was always there in the original game as well. So we gotta... Okay, I didn't pull myself up there. We gotta collect the rest of these, and we'll be able to go into different rooms. And one more. Wait, 2 more. Sorry. There's another invisible target, it would seem. Yep, right there. And also an invisible ledge. Was that invisible ledge? Yes, that invisible ledge was always there. They did not make any new, what's it called again? They didn't make any new, like, structures. They couldn't, I guess. Or they just, yeah, they couldn't make any new structures, but they would put new stuff on the ground. And by the way, this room turned out to be completely unnecessary. So I came through here, I was like, maybe I need to get a key or something. I beat a couple of Stalfos, and then, you know, I got this little chest. And what was in the little chest? I was like, come on, small key, yes! Oh, no, 20 rupees. That's nice. Thank you very much, game. I beat 2 Stalfos, and I get paid 10 rupees a piece? Come on. Jegus. Anyway, so we are shooting the targets with our hook shot, or long shot. And I thought this was pretty cool. Now, there is the obvious target, which you would have found getting all of those silver rupees right above the platform. However, they've put those 4 little, doodads there to make sure you don't just shoot right on top of it and fall right down. They're making sure that you use all of your items and shit. It's nice. It's awesome. I really like this. I really like this. I'm sorry. Master Quest is just one of those things that I go a little bit crazy over. Anyway, another room, and actually this place is the same gimmick that the original dungeon did. There are the fans, and also, well, partially I think just because they're permanent structures. They have to be there. They could have put one of those ethereal blocks in front of it maybe to nullify this task, but honestly, I'm glad they decided to keep it, because this was pretty fun to figure out. I was like, oh my goodness, why is it blowing me away? And finally, I had to pull up the strategy guide, and it said, just put on the iron boots, man. They make you heavy, remember? Oh, okay, thanks. And by the way, I hate this. One more time. Oh, I thought I would do it for it. Funny story. You remember those eye things that shot fire? Originally, this room was the only place, right above that door, was the only place in the entire game, I believe, where they actually had one. So, sometimes Nintendo makes pretty fun. Oh my god, why are these? Whoa! I hate that. I'm sorry. They're dead, they're creepy, and they're staring at the wall. And it's... I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Anyways, killing them accomplishes absolutely nothing in terms of getting us more stuff. They were just kind of there to pose a danger and to look pretty damn creepy staring at that face in the wall. I'm sorry. Also, the face in the wall gives us a clue for the previous room, because this really does look like a dead end. Like, some adventurers might think, well, shoot, what am I supposed to do? Has all of my adventuring been for naught? Grand old toads. But no, your adventuring has not been for naught. Not for naught, huh? Because, as it turns out, there's a fancy little trick you can do in the previous room. First, though, you gotta pick up your invisible box, which has the small key in it. Now, the first thing I'm gonna do is show you how to do it wrong. Well, I started a pretty right way. I put on my iron boots, and I placed myself in front of one of the fans, because it told me, to do that. And then I just kind of lazily let the wind carry me. Unfortunately, you need to kind of help the wind along in order for it to get you to your goal. So don't be a lazy SOB and just, stand there like, yeah, sure, I'm an adventurer. It might work. Like, maybe I just did it a little bit too late, but, Anyway, here are a couple Gidbos. We're gonna not use that, because it was gonna take way too long for us to jump over there, or to walk, or crawl over there. Anyway, ow, damn it! Freaking, I hate those pots. It's not like they deal out a whole bunch of damage. By the way, another thing about Skyward Sword, everything deals out at least a heart of damage. It seems like almost everything, at least a heart. Okay. By the way, I hear it. I hear it crawling in my skin. Well, actually, it's in the ground. In a little pile of dirt and death over there. So I'm pretty sure that if you look in there, there's like a spinal cord sticking up out of that area. Kind of weird. Spooky, weird, creepy, dark. Perfectly in the theme of this dungeon. Now, we could just go through that door. We got our stuff. We got our thing. However, there's one more chest. The compass commands us to go after the chest. And it's also invisible. So, let's do a little bit of fancy positioning work. There we go. Turns visible. And it turns out we didn't actually need it. So that's a little bit sad. But you know what? If you had run out of arrows for whatever reason, you would have needed them pretty soon anyway. So there you go. Anyway, lock. This actually connects us to an earlier part of the dungeon. So there you go. If you ever really need to backtrack, there's a shortcut. That's nice. All right, there we go. Headed up with the damn shoes. Okay, so we're not going to lose our temper. We're just going to keep her cool. And also, we are going to use our Scarecrow song. Yay! Now, this area over here, there used to be a gold skeletal over there, so once again, it was one of those things where if you were mindful and you got your Scarecrow song, you were in luck. However, this time there is no gold Skulltula, there's just a normal Skullwaltula. So a little bit of a bummer. We're gonna kill it for tricking us. I mean, I thought that maybe, like, when I originally heard it, I was like, okay, I know there's an area over there. Maybe they're giving me the enemy sound because they're trying to cover up the fact that there's actually a gold Skulltula there. It wouldn't be the first time they did it. You know, because the gold Skulltula makes the same kind of sound. You know, how are you supposed to know? Whatever, man. I decided not to make the same mistake when it comes to this ladder. It still takes me about half as much time to, you know, actually get onto it, but whatever. You forgive me, right? You forgive me. And we play our Zelda's Lullaby. Obviously, there's a Triforce symbol on the ground here. If we had to do anything else, then the game would have been taking a rather radical turn from the norm. Anyway. Boat. Creepy boat. I do not know why it has to sway like this. Up and down. No. Gosh. I'm sorry. There are just little touches in this temple that are weird. Really, really weird. Also, Stalfos. Now, this boat always did have Stalfos on it, so this isn't some kind of crazy awesome Master Quest thing. This is just normal Ocarina of Time stuff. However, it does have fewer Stalfos. What it had was, it used to just have the one Stalfos that would come and attack you, and then two would attack you, and they were the kind that if you did not kill them within a certain, you know, X amount of time of each other, then blah. Oh yeah, also, one thing, look at the mini-map. I never realized this. You know how when you enter, like, a new area, you get the little red arrow that shows that's where you entered? It keeps moving with the, even though we enter on the other side of the map, the right side of the map there, it keeps showing that we're entering wherever the boat currently is. Wow, I really like this boat. Oh, no, the boat! No, the boat's sinking. And I really wanted to show you guys what it looked like when it was sinking, so I went over here, but... great. Good job. Alright, so we're back. Like I said, I really wanted to show you guys what it looked like when the boat is sinking. Turns out that my controller thought that the up C meant that it should run forward and jump out like a mentally deficient monkey. Anyway, so now we get to... Wait. I think I heard it. I think I heard the sweet sound. Yes, there's a gold Skulltula over there. First, though, we need to blow up some bombs. As it turns out, even though there is no prior thing in the game, really, to tell you that you're able to do this, as it turns out, if you shoot an arrow at some bombs, they will explode. So, there you go. There's a lesson in Legend of Zelda. Sometimes they do things, and they never tell you that you're supposed to do them. I mean, they kind of will give you context clues, like they'll give you arrows, and kind of urge you to shoot an arrow, because it's like, hey, look at this extra ammunition, huh? Why would we be giving you this extra ammunition? But the original Legend of Zelda didn't always give you something just because you needed it at that moment, so... And even here, they've kind of been giving us arrows all throughout, when we haven't really needed arrows all throughout. We've needed them twice now. Possibly 3 times if you really wanted to kill those keys. But I just kind of wanted to get rid of them, kill them forever and ever. Alright, we have a block of time here. We got ourselves a heart, and we think that we're really awesome. Now we need to go over to the other side of the room, where the actual rest of the dungeon is here, basically. The majority of what's left of the dungeon is over there on the other side of the bridge. So let's go there. Let's go through the door. Let's do this. Oh, God damn it. I missed something, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Okay. I missed whatever it is. Fortunately, after enough time of playing this game, you begin to realize that there are certain trends. There are things that the game puts there because they want you to remember why they're there. One of them being blocks of time. Why do we have blocks of time? Well, they don't just serve the purpose of being climbed on, they also serve the purpose of being removed or moved or placed or purified. So there we go, we take it away and we find out that we have one of those fancy little eye doodads staring at us being all like, hey buddy! Okay, 3rd time we get to use arrows. 3rd room, there, how about that? There are only 2 rooms where you have to use arrows. I think that I stand correct. So I think I heard a little sound, which should have tipped me off, but I'm doing something a little bit wrong here. I didn't stick around to see if there was any lasting effect. You know, because Master Quest is weird. Usually we wouldn't have this kind of thing. But it turned out that what it was really doing was making some long shot targets appear. So, well, I guess that's what we're supposed to do. Also, if we look really closely, there's a button up there. So if we drop down onto the button, finally the door opens. So now we can go through. After we run back around, of course. Also, I'm really glad that you can maneuver in midair, because I'm pretty sure I would have fallen into the pit. And that would have sucked. That would have really sucked. A lot. Anyways, through the door. It's the final part of the dungeon. The part which made me feel, as a kid, really triumphant that I had finally gotten to this really, really weird final part of what was really the hardest dungeon in the entire game. Yep. Usually there would have been floor masters around here to ram you and make you feel really frustrated with them. This time, however, there are just some blue bubbles and a light. They will keep on respawning, of course, every time you come back into the area. There's no specific puzzle attached to them. But they're not, I don't know, they don't strike me as being quite as creepy. Floor masters are kind of creepy. They're just kind of weird. They crawl around, they're disembodied hands, and they turn green and rush at you. And then when you think you've killed them, they split into 3 little dudes that will latch onto you and also try and kill you. Gosh, it's a deadly, deadly world. Also, in this room, it turns out that the only thing you actually need is already available, just kind of chilling out on the floor. I, however, did not realize that, and so I decided to do what I would usually do in a room like this, where there are the skulls. I threw bombs. I noticed the key, and I was like, oh, that's right, that's always been there. But for some silly reason, I decided to just keep on going, so there we go. There we go, alright. And I felt like I really wanted to just do this, and God, my inability to throw bombs was really, really shining through here. Anyway, now that we're done with that, we can go through here. And we can make our way to the rest of this room, and oh, there are invisible walls. You'd think that, you know, after the amazing amount of times, because, you know, they can't change the actual physical walls. They can only change the, oh, this. I thought this was clever. Now, you look through this room, and at first you're like, what? So, of course, you take out your Eye of Truth. Check that out. There is a dead hand. And once again, if you weren't aware, you might wonder for a second, why are there all these bombs? What the heck? You might just think that's a shadow of something. Like, oh my god, there's a freaking wall master. But no, it's a dead hand. It's awesome. It's really awesome how they did that. That was really creative. Good job, Nintendo. Jeez. Making us really think about what we're able to do with our items and stuff. Wow. Wow, it's good. That's good game design. Making players think. I like that. Also, one thing I was doing was I was getting ridiculously far away from the bombs because in Skyward Sword, the bombs have just an enormous range. I'm sure all of you who are watching, who are listening into the thread, can you know, tell everybody else. But yeah, those freaking bombs, man. Those freaking bombs don't mess around. If you're within like 10 feet of them, they are going to blow up in your face. And people keep on calling me. I'm kind of wondering why people are calling me so much. Something important happen? Anyway, we're going to deal with that after this video is over. We only have we have a few more minutes, but whatever. Anyway, so walking forward, there is one more room. It's what we need the key for. We didn't, you know, need to go into that room with a dead hand, but dead hands are awesome. Also, witness one of the reasons why I hate keys so damn much. Okay, we're gonna Din's Fire. Check out this Din's Fire. It's a pretty sweet Din's Fire, right? Oh, they don't get hurt by it. They just turn into fire keys. Oh my goodness. The Genesis that I create for my own horror. And oh, I keep on swinging the wrong direction. And I really defeat myself when it comes to keys, I have to admit. Part of my aggression is the fact that I hate them so much. So then I just start swinging and shooting things randomly, not quite getting what I need to get. And I piss myself off. Also, there's a random ass Skulltula right there. Didn't really need to be there. I mean, it just kind of turned invisible. It evolved and it said, you know what? I'm gonna chill out in this room. There's no real reason for me to be here, but you want to know what? All y'all could suck it. If you crawled into this corner of the room, you're mine. There might be another in that corner of the room, but I didn't really care at all. Anyway, now we just walk around, get by the like and all the blue bubbles. The blue bubbles in this area would have been a lot more threatening if they had the same properties as a Majora's Mask blue bubble, which those of you who play Majora's Mask will remember. When one of those things hit you, you couldn't use your sword for about a minute. It's possible you couldn't even have used any weapons, so getting hit by one of those was like, oh no! Especially if you were in that one area. Oh man. I like Majora's Mask. Anyways, I was trying to hit that thing, but for some reason my massive sword was unable to hit the very large target. Alright, now we're in this area. Now this area, obviously it's very Shadow Temple-y. It looks daunting. There's this mysterious door at the end, but you turn on the Eye of Truth and suddenly, you know, even though these platforms are kind of thin, it's a lot warmer. It's a lot nicer here now. And I really want to get to that gold skeleton, obviously, because collection. Also, you'll notice that when you're within the bounds of the Eye of Truth, you do not see that shimmering glow beneath your feet. I don't know why that is. I think it's just... Okay. Yeah, you don't see that glow beneath your feet. I think that's just, like, to show that there's not actually a glow. I mean, it doesn't actually have any mechanical purpose for the game. It's just it's a funny little touch, I guess, they decided to put in. That the glow isn't actually there. It's just kind of mysterious energy that doesn't really exist. Ooh. I don't know. It was just kind of weird that it's, you know, another one of those things that seems to be there but isn't actually. I guess it's things that... No, that wouldn't really work. Whatever. Anyway, so, one thing you'll notice is that I didn't even try and move forward. If you walk through that door with the hover boots on, you go straight into the boss room. The boss being a tribal music player with big ol' rigidy hands beating on the drum. The drums. And who is it? It's the Phantom Shadow Beast, Bongo Bongo. My goodness, this guy's gonna be hard to beat without the Eye of Truth. So, the fight for this guy is pretty simple. Basically, what you need to do is you need to keep your hover boots equipped, because they are the only thing which give you a very large amount of time to shoot your bow. Because normally, when he would shoot you in the air, when he's hitting the drum, with your normal boots, you'll be like, oh my goodness. But with the hover boots, it's like, oh hey, I have like a little platform to shoot on still. But basically, you target one of the hands. When it's not playing, as you'll see I'm messing up here like that, when it's not playing, oh god, the fist, fuck the fist. You can't really avoid the fist. You need to be hit by that. But you know, there are ways to avoid it. I just haven't really discovered them. I tried to be cool and get really close, but yeah. But you just shoot the hands. Once both the hands are stunned, Bongo Bongo, the main body, will rush at you, and then you need to target it and shoot it with an arrow, and you will stun Bongo Bongo, which will allow you to slash it with your sword. Also, you can't, until it is stunned, you cannot see the main body of Bongo Bongo. So there you go. Look at it with the Eye of Truth. There you go. Now it gives us good information. Alrighty then. So, also, one of the things you'll notice is that when I got thrown back all that way into like the corner of the room, which is going to happen a couple more times, I'm just going to warn you, because I'm a fucking idiot. You know, when you go there, the floor looks kind of ominous. Now, if you were just wearing your normal boots, or the iron boots, God forbid, you would actually be taking damage from that thing. You'd be taking damage from that floor. However, fortunately, we are not doing that. We are doing the game the normal way, with the hover boots on, the way it should be done. So, oh no, that's right. Oh no, oh no, no, the fist, no, the fist, no, fist. So like I said, you need to take damage from the fist. The fist is like an automatic damage mechanic thingamajig. Anyway, thank God for save states, right? I'm just kidding. I had to go back to the beginning. Anyway, I was really only that far away from beating it too, so that made me kind of angry when I had to run around and get stuff again. I even bought arrows. I was so desperate to get them. Anyways, with Bongo destroyed, it fades back into the darkness from which it was born. I liked it more when it was the original game on the N64 and it was purple. It looked more evil and creepy. Anyways. Well, that's the end of that. Let's go ahead and put away our shield. I mean, a sword. Go ahead. There we go. Okay. And now we will collect our heart container and be off to the temple of the realm of the sage place. Yes, gosh, it's been a long time since I was there. Well, fortunately, well, I'll talk a little bit more after this. And we are back here in the graveyard. So then, Impa. You know, one thing that I think is interesting, I guess, you know, just because it's there, is this whole thing. Look, I mean, we've been getting them in a clockwise order, but the Shadow Medallion is the only one that breaks that order. It's kind of weird. I don't really know why. Maybe it's just because it's the hardest temple? I mean, there's no real reason. I mean, you kind of need the hover boots for a part in the next one, so I don't really know why. Anyway, it's weird. Anyway, weird stuff, whatever. Here we go. We have reached the end, and what did we learn today? Or what did we do today, I should say? We're not tipping 40s. What did we do today? Well, we went into a dungeon. We revealed some truths with our lens. Ooh. And we slew a mighty beast after being slain ourselves. Next time on Let's Play Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Master Quest. The desert. It's real, and it's in Hyrule. I will see you all then.